Blue Nemesis, right? So we're working on the AMG. Got a couple quick tips. I'm gonna give it to you really quick. Last time I checked in, we were putting the power from the front of the car to the back of the car, right? So we got the power we ran it underneath the car. I showed you guys how to get down underneath the car. We tucked it out underneath the plastics and the covering underneath the car. Ran in. Important things with running the wire underneath the car. Make sure you don't put power wires or anything. Don't run anything next to heat, direct contact of heat. Don't tie or zip tie or fasten it to any moving parts. Don't put it in a way where you know it's gonna get tons of water on it. So you want to secure the wire. Find an area, like in this car is easier because once I got the covers off, I can easily tuck the wire in and secure it. When you go over the back axle, make sure you go over your axle and you tuck it up. Stay away from the exhaust, stay away from anything, and then go up into your trunk. This one is easy because I added a battery to the actual back, and there's a additional space. Take a quick look really quick. All right, this is the battery I added. That's my auxiliary battery, and I actually had extra space right here, just perfect space to add a battery. So then my wire comes up. We have my ground connected over here. Let's move this out the way for now. My ground connected over there, where this ground is coming from the auxiliary battery. It's connected here, so I know this is a good place to put ground. So my ground is over there. I got my battery, and then you're gonna have your power coming in, right? You got your ground coming in, right? And then our amp's gonna pull off of here, pull off of there, right? Main thing is, don't run your power wire against anything hot. Don't secure it to anything that moves. If the thing that you secure it to is the actual body, the actual part of the car, that the shocks and then stuff like that, just don't secure it to anything that's gonna move. It should move, the wire should move with the body as a whole. Can't be two moving objects. Now we get into the amp, right? Our amps, we're wiring our amps up. I have this little thing built up, so when I take it, and I'm gonna show you guys when it's all said and done, but I'm gonna take it and it's gonna sit right over top of that tire. And then when I close it down, you're not gonna be able to see the amps or anything, but this is just a mounting board. So I got a mount, the amps are mounted to this board. It has to be mounted. It can't be like, I can't just set them in there and then have them loose flying around the trunk while I'm, drifting or racing or something, and the amps are sliding all around. So they have to be mounted. So basically how I'm doing it is I mount it to this board. This board in turn sits over top of my spare, which I'm gonna mount it down to like the actual insert that holds my tire down in the middle. So then it's all tied together. But I have to mount it in a manner to where if I have a flat tire, I only gotta like take out one bolt or something that's holding it to take this whole panel off, disconnect these wires real quick, and go about my business. Because if you have a flat, I run flats, but just in case of emergency, you gotta be able to, you don't wanna have it all set up to where you can't move the stuff if you need to. All right, now we're wiring them up. We're gonna do all our wiring, most of our wiring here on the tape before we get to put it in the car. So then when we put it in the car, only thing we gotta do is connect it all to the battery and then run it to the actual speaker wires. It's like a lot of little stuff here. So right here, what we have is, so right now on the car, we have the wire coming from the battery, aught gauge wire. I think it might be negative. It's pretty big actually, because this is aught gauge right here. This is aught gauge. And this is what I'm running back from the battery, right? Get all the way back from the battery, hit our new battery over here inside our trunk. When you come off the battery, within a foot, we have a 250 amp fuse. When we get back to the trunk, before the battery hits the trunk, before it actually touches to the battery, I have another 250 amp fuse. Now I put multiple fuses just in case anything was to happen between the front battery and the back battery, that it'll kill the fuse. It'll pop one of those fuses before it gets to the back. Now we have a fuse. There's a lot of fuses, I know. Now we have another fuse. This one is a 200 amp, which is going to the sub. Then we have 150 amp, which is going to the highs. Right, and then we're gonna connect it all up, and I'm gonna get it all connected real quick, and I'll show you guys when I go to install it. But I just want to give you guys some quick tips running the wire. Right now it started raining out here. First I had it set up for the canopy set up because of the sun. Now Sunday it's starting to rain. Florida, this is how it goes. So I had to move my stuff over here really quick. I'm almost ready to install this into the car. I just gotta get this all wired up to make it quick as possible. Just in case it rains, I want to have it all ready to go. That all I gotta do is set it in place, fasten it all up, and then I'll show you guys the finished product of it all installed before I close the top down, and you won't be able to see it anymore. But I'll get you guys to that point.